Alright, time to continue the adventure. The next thing that would be coming up is the SS Anne, because I don't the team is quite ready to Misty Star me concerns me. So I want to grind up a little bit first. Because normally I would have prioritized the starter rather than spreading it out to multiple teammates up to this point. So with Charmander being Charmeleon, he would be early 30s and would already have Slash, so Misty wouldn't be a problem. I meant to go down to Gust. One sand attack, and it doesn't land. Thankfully. But this time through, I wanted to level up multiple, so it didn't seem like the typical power leveling just the starter. Oh. Ah. I need to come back over here when I have cut. But technically you don't need Flash to get through Rock Tunnel. As far as I know, there aren't any items anywhere in Rock Tunnel to get. Okay, 19 is still faster. That's perfectly fine, even if I run into 20 to 22 Diglets. Still not going to be an issue, because Dig is off the table. Almost a 1. Getting there. Oh well, 1 growl, not gonna make a difference. So close. That's unfortunate, because that's not going to be of any use. And just to keep it from feeling a little too stale, I'm going to switch each time somebody gets a level, just so it's a little different. And it will be better than Kratos because he has much higher attack. I was not expecting the Diglett to be faster. Eh, no big deal. Okay, at level 20 I do expect to be faster. Okay. I thought that was tackle. Level 15, still fine. I did not expect tackle to one-shot though. 3 in attack, 2 in speed, 2 in special. I threw myself off. Level 15 is the lowest level Diglett you can find in here, and 22 is the highest. I think being on... I'm not sure, actually, if being on the bike makes encounters pop-ups faster. Okay, that certainly did. 20... I mean, under 20 I've definitely been faster. Oh, okay. Ah, nope, you will go first. If I can just... Okay, it feels like it's faster. Ouch. 18 might be faster, so I'm just going to use quick attack so I don't take an extra turn of damage. Sixteen potentially isn't faster. And Pidgeotto has plenty of fight left in it. Or plenty of moves left. So using the Super Potion is not wasteful. And I definitely don't blame anybody that just skips over or doesn't even watch this, because the grinding is definitely slow. But I find this more enjoyable than just giving my Pokemon diabetes with rare candies. I've always found seeing their incremental growth each level, rather than just throwing on 20 rare candies because you don't want to bother. Oh, first one that's faster. That's fine, can't get hurt. Ooh, another tackle. Perhaps? No. Have actually been pretty lucky and not come across any Doug trios. Here we go. Unfortunately, at this point in the game, this is the best place to grind. Okay. Wasn't sure if the Johto would be fast enough without quick attack. Very handy. Every crit saves the move for the next one. Oh, highest level Diglett you can come in, run across in here. Wow, 3 crits in a row. That's very handy. Probably didn't need that crit, but it never hurts. Uh-oh. Oh, 31 is the highest level Doug trio you can run into. Hey, Growl is annoying, But what makes Doug Trio dangerous is if you are susceptible to dig, which I'm not, so the worst it can do to me is scratch. Or that's at least 3 separate Diglets. That was extremely helpful. That is... Oh, the T's on the damage ranges. I don't understand why it went Sand Attack so much, and then only went Dig, when it does have Scratch. 22, I think, might be faster. It is faster. And that is why I switched to using Tackle, because I don't have a lot of bites left. And if I'm going second, I'd rather take the chance at losing a Tackle than a bite. Oh, what? And I'm pretty sure 29 is the lowest Doug Trio you can get. Ooh, that 1 in 4 chance for any status move to miss, and finishing it on a crit. Very fortuitous. Gyarados being able to take those 2 Doug Trios greatly sped up his turn. Pidgeotto should at least be able to hit 24 before it has to get its moves back. Okay. So 8. Gust is Stab, and Diglett has very bad HP, but I still did not expect these level 17 to go down without a crit. Or the level 18. The damage range must have been feeling generous. 21, however. Without a crit, no chance. Thankfully, unlike Tackle, Gust, and Quick Attack are 100% accurate. The crit may have been necessary, it may not have. But it never hurts. Okay, Pidgeotto might actually have enough moves to level it one more time. And if it happens to get close enough that switch training a few would finish it off, then I will do that. Charmeleon is just vulnerable in here until he evolves. Okay. 15 should be a one-shot. Should also be. Alright, 15, 16, 17 reliably go down to one tackle. 18 and above, even for Gyarados, I'm not confident yet. Huh. Surprise. Uh-oh. This one, however, could be trouble. Oh, that is... missing that bite really sucks. Oh, very nice recovery, and gets the level up. I'm really surprised at how many levels both Pidgeotto and Gyarados have gained in this short amount of time. I really thought it was going to be at least twice this amount of time to have these few levels. I was not confident Gust would do it. Glad to see that it did. unless it was different for Gen 1, to my knowledge, Quick Attack is 40 power and Gust is 35. They do both get Stab, which, because of how low power they are, that is still pretty helpful at this point. Don't usually see high dittos this bitter. And I purposely went Sand Attack to see if I was faster or not before attempting a Gust. I'm the wrong button. If everything goes down to one tapping, except that, this is actually where Splash will come in handy. Except when it does that. Okay, I don't know why it's still doing that. Well, I was going Splash and expecting it to go Dig. Now it goes Dig. I was trying to pass turns of Dig with Splash, and then it just took forever to use it. Okay, why is it reading my moves? Would you please hit? Okay, how much does Gyarados actually need? Okay, Gyarados is not going to be able to do this himself anymore. Before I could even get the words out, I was going to say, I'm just going to keep doing it until it goes Dig, so I can switch. No matter how fast it is, Quick Attack will go first. And it will come up. And finally. After that, 9 tackles. It's not going to be enough for Gyarados to get his level by himself. Especially when its 5% miss actually misses. Everything up till now was going good. Okay, Gyarados isn't going to get as close as I was hoping after all of those tackles kept missing on Dugtrio. But I'm thinking that maybe 25 should be good enough to go back to Misty. Nope. It's gonna start... Ow. Of course, as soon as I try. Very good. I was going to say that even if it goes Scratch, he has enough HP to survive it. Probably? Yep. Didn't think so. Looking at it, I don't think Pidgeotto could take another Scratch without a heal. At 17, yep. Especially if it's gonna crit. That Super Potion was very necessary. Yep, Gyarados cannot do any more. 725 and what was this? They are so... They are at the same amount, but Gyarados is one behind. Yeah, I don't want to subject anybody to that beeping for any prolonged time. Well, Gyarados is close enough that he can just take out the trainers in the gym, get his level, and then take out Misty. And then... I'm not sure if he can learn it, because it's not something I ever did. But if he can, he will get a very helpful move upgrade. Actually, I can walk around to this guy. If there are any trainers that can see you from a distance that you can walk up to instead, absolutely do that. It will save you the time of being spotted, of them walking over, and then talking to you. Shelder, yep. Shelder is very high in defense, so I'm not surprised Bite wasn't enough. unfortunately, cannot do the same with her. I think... I don't think her Starmie actually has Bubble Beam. I might be wrong, but as far as I know, her most dangerous move is Tackle and Water Gun. I did not know Gyarados would be getting Dragon Rage at 25. That alone has now made Misty trivial. Boy, at this part in the game, Dragon Rage is huge. Last time I picked up Seismic Toss. Not great because it would only be dealing 25 damage right now. Dragon Rage always does a flat 40. And on a 21 Starmie, that's a lot. I thought I was gonna have to go into this using Bite. Dragon Rage for the win. Did not know that was coming up. Now it depends if... Oh, that's big. Don't need Splash at all. Not anymore. Now, if it is the same power, Bubble Beam should be 65 power, meaning with Stab, it's up to 97. And that would do a lot on the Doug Trios. And now... I do not need to do anything in Cerulean except pass it after the SSN and Surge. I'm not sure what their base stat totals are, and I could be wrong, but I think, especially at this point, Gyarados just bypassed Charmeleon as the strongest one to get things done. Unfortunately, Charmeleon and Pidgeotto will not hit their strongest form for another 11 levels for Pidgeotto and 9 levels for Charmeleon. since Pidgeotto just got Whirlwind at, I think it was 21, I don't think, but I'm not sure, um, when it is due for another move. And Gyarados will get his very quick level up because of Misty. In only 43 minutes, I did not expect Pidgeotto and Gyarados to go from both at level 20. I was hoping that had lined up perfectly. To both being level 20. I really thought it was going to be more like maybe even an hour and a half of grinding before they caught up to Charmeleon. You are definitely in the strongest position right now. You're a little low. Charmeleon could really use a better move. I don't even think that's going to be enough. I stand corrected. As long as Mega Punch hits. That, however, I'm not even going to subject Charmeleon to a scratch. Okay, yeah. Gyarados has 13 more defense. Definitely the optimal one. Growl no longer matters thanks to Bubble Beam. Very needed boost for Charmeleon. What? Again? Of course, Mega Miss. I could be mistaken. I want to say Mega Punch is like 85, maybe 90 accuracy. But when you try to use it, it certainly doesn't feel that high. Okay, at least against the high-level Diglets, I almost said Ditto, he is fast enough to go first. Thought it forced me to the top. Oh, a 2000. But it is working out as long as Mega Punch hits. Eight, 18 does not have Dig yet. So Charmeleon can take a few small lumps if they survive and hit scratch. 21, however, does have dig, and is worth attempting a Mega Punch to take it out quickly. If they go dig, I will switch to avoid the damage, because dividing the experience is better than taking a huge hit from dig and having to go heal. A very clutch moment for burn to happen. Don't have to use another move. Oh, right at the edge. But only 4 damage. Good, level up soon. Even though the experience would be divided every time with Dugtrios, that's not a bad trade for Charmeleon getting a piece of it. Against the Pokemon, I would not be having him attempt to fight until he evolves, just to avoid dig. Because 29 or 31 Dugtrio using dig, it has a very high chance to crit. It is 100 base power, and it is stab. So even without a crit, that could potentially one-shot Charmeleon, and that is not a risk worth taking. It's actually been a while since a 20 has shown up. The SSN does have a few water types on it. Potentially half of the Pokemon as a whole are water. That is not including Gary's Pokemon. This is definitely where the grind is going to feel slow with how much they're needing to get to 27. I'm thinking of getting Pidgeotto and Gyarados to 27, and Charmeleon to 30, and then the SSN should be fine without risk of anybody, excuse me, fainting. Oh, Pidgeotto actually goes first now. Never mind, it's a speed tie. One time, you did not want to win that speed tie. I do think the bike has better considerably. Just before I was going to say I think Pidgeotto will level up soon, it does right there. Normally I would have put Gyarados in front first, but because the potential of running into Dugtrio is ever present, and Charmeleon cannot take those out by himself, Charmeleon will be getting his level first, because in case any Dugtrio do show up, I can just switch to Gyarados, take minimum damage, and they both reap the reward. Now if only could only force spawn some Dugtrio to speed this up a little bit. Ah. For a split second I was hoping the Hope manifested one. Scratch is fine. Don't have to spend any time switching. Should be hopefully close. 20, that's good. Crit, very nice. Guaranteed one shot. So then 21 we give 243. And 22, Diglett gives 254. Oh, going dig, I would move first. I don't need to take the dig damage, even from a 19. Unlikely to finish Charmeleon off, but since he hasn't gotten his level yet, it's not worth risking it. Good. Could be close. Last check, he did need, I want to say, almost 2,300? He should be there soon. And in all this time, we can't get one Doug Trio. I moved off and back on to the same space. Is this the good spot? Can I just spin in place, please? Actually, even if it had gotten burned, the chip damage would not have finished it. Oh, no. I can't even get to the corner. Really? Just can't get a Doug Trio. Oh, nope, nope. You don't want to risk it. Could crit at any time. I'm seeing if this does anything. I don't think it did. I think that's something that got changed. Not sure if it was 2 or an even later gen. But I know at some point you could just stand in a corner on the same patch of grass, wiggling yourself around, and it could force encounters. Into the home stretch of this grind. It's 27, off to the SSN. I will gladly take an ever-ending supply of level 20s. Oh, broke the streak with a 17. Oh, still essentially 200 experience, so not too much worse. Really? Ever since coming back from Misty, only been able to get, I think, 1 Doug Trio. Doug Trio would have been so nice for this. Even though 15 is the lowest level, and it gives the least, it's still faster to take it out than it is to run away. Gyarados has got to be close. Apparently Gyarados is closer to leveling up than we are to finding a single Doug Trio. Nope. There we go. One more space to finally get out of here and progress. Alright, in first hour, they gained more levels than I thought they would. Imagine biking on the ship. No, I think... Yeah, over here first. There's only... I believe there's only one thing to collect in here. Yep. And there's nothing else. And this is... That's to the rest of the ship. So not that way yet. I always go through everything on the ship because you can only come here once. Oh. Alright, they both want to fight. Progression has finally begun. Uh-oh. Mega Miss actually hits. I would love to have something other than Mega Punch to rely on. I would love to have Slash, but that would have taken a much longer grind to get to. Perfect. No damage. I'm moving slowly like that so I don't accidentally hold and go too far. I cannot believe it hit all 3 times. Ouch. Of course he gets the crit. I'm surprised at how often Mega Punch is hitting so far. But followed up by a crit. So far the SSN is going very well. Ah. Unfortunately, that is rest. Rest is not really needed. Uh-oh. I cannot believe Mega Punch keeps hitting. Alright, not gonna tempt fate. Vermilion out there for a second Horsey. Because I believe Horsey's beginning move is Bubble before any other moves. There is a bed on the ship that you can heal at. I just want to minimize its necessity as much as I can. I don't think these guys fight. I take that back. Okay, only one. But it's Gelder. This might be bad. Okay, it actually did... I expected to land at about half. Oh. I thought Shelter was... water ice as well. Apparently only Oyster is. Okay. Now, since I can't talk to him from the side, if you can't talk to them from the side to speed it up, then just walk as close in front of them as you can. Okay, Bubble did much less than I expected, even at these levels. I actually did not think Dragon Rage would just flat out take down Shelter. I figured it would get close and we could finish it with Tackle. There are annoying moves in every gen. Gen 1's most annoying ones might just be Wrap, Bind, Clamp, and Fire Spin. Because at least Double Slap, Fury Swipes, and Fury Attack all hit you at the same time. But Wrap, Bind, Clamp, and Fire Spin force you to quote-unquote take your turn before it says it continues. Very annoyingly time-consuming for no reason. I believe it is starting in Gen 2. All of that type of move becomes passive, it still only uses 1 PP, but the target is no longer skipping their turn to take the turn-by-turn damage. It's just in the background of still active. Okay. Thankfully, one of the few poison types that actually use a poison move on the ship, and it didn't inflict the poison. Nope. Neither. Nope. Ah. Unfortunately, both of these two want to fight and can't get close enough to talk to him directly. Would have been nice to save that little amount of time. Of course. You tempt fate, and fate tempts you back. Give the poison enough chances, and it will take. Now this is Body Slam. This would actually be very helpful. I think this has the bed. I might be confusing it with a later gen then. I thought there was a bed to heal. That is not the case. Then not gonna subject that any longer. There are a couple out here. Avoid him. And... ah, there he is. Notch out, perfectly safe. I'm not sure if Pidgeot can also learn Body Slam. On 32 is nice. Unfortunately, Charmeleon will not get Slash for another level. Eh, 49 out of 50. Only 1800. Oh, 2900. Gyarados needs just 2000, which is good. Into the home stretch of finishing the SSN. The final hallway. I don't need to talk to this guy, but you talk to him, he gives you the Dex entry for Snorlax, who you're going to be forced to confront later anyway. Goldeen's a little sturdier in defense than Tentacruel was. Didn't see that coming. But I guess that does track, because Tentacruel is not great in attack or defense, but it is very good in speed and great in special. Did not want to get paralyzed at this point. Not super important items. They do not fight. I think there's one more room. This might be the last room with anybody to fight. Right, at least the majority of the time, Mega Punch has been hitting. Okay. If it goes quick attack, that means that I don't have to worry about it going Thundershock. Okay, that means that against Gary, Charmeleon will finally learn Flash. I will take that because a quick attack means you aren't attempting to sand attack me. Oh, the 1 in 4 chance for any status move from the computer to miss, and it did. That was very helpful. Don't know if it would have knocked out Raticate without the crit. That might be a one-shot. Kadabra has terrible defense. Finally, a very good move. And actually, Zippo's first permanent move that he will be keeping. Yeah, I don't think Bite would have done that much, but it should be able to finish him. And considering Pidgeotto and Gyarados they're at a good level, but are still in danger at Surge's gym. Now the question is, can Farfetch'd have this? Thankfully, he can. Because I think when I first played, I don't know if I did the Farfetch'd trade, because I remember having cut on Charizard. There they go, never to be seen again. It's so sad. Even though the SSN is basically this universe's version of the Titanic, so probably a good thing it didn't take off with us. We don't actually need regular Pokeballs. Not going to need Rest. Okay, if those don't sell or anything, then it's not worth getting rid of. Don't need rare candies. I don't use them. Actually, grab some super potions because those. And I'm actually thinking of repels for Rock Tunnel. That might be enough. It might actually be more than enough. Just put him here. Don't ever need the SS ticket again. Nope, I didn't want to put that in, but the menu is being slow. Do not need HM1 again. And I'm going to put 8 in here for later. Actually, don't need to keep 12, which is water gun. I'm holding on to dig. Just to know. Okay, Gyarados could have gotten water gun if for some odd reason they couldn't have Bubble Beam. Thankfully, that was not the case. Yes, I did. 2800, 1800. Gyarados is a tiny bit behind, and only needs 1 fight. Unfortunately, you can't just talk to trees to cut them down. You have to pull up the menu to do it. And it is time for one of the, I think, collectively hated gym puzzles in the series. And it did not get better in the remakes. Unfortunately, the top right trainer I can't directly talk to. By the end of Surge, Charmeleon should be level 34. I always do the trainers first, so that it doesn't matter if I accidentally walk too far while trying to pick any specific trash can, and then have to do the fight in between. I tried to turn around. Uh, the pain. Uh-oh. Is it gonna be... Nope, of course not. Of course. The only hint, if you can call it that, is that it says it's right next to it. But it doesn't specify if that means it can be in the trash can you just checked. Because wherever the first one is... Okay, third lap actually paying out. Surge's ace might not go down to a slash. I think that's 2 more attack. Zippo has nice attack. Might not go down despite the 10 levels. Even with the crit. But I'm not surprised that it hung on to any degree. Because it's a final evolution, so it has better stats. I don't think anybody can have this right now. Never mind, Gyarados could have Thunderbolt. Definitely an odd. It's not a terrible move for it, because it is strong. One, two, 7. And Gyarados. As much as Charmeleon. have not had an encounter any time I have gone through that strip of grass. If Charmeleon did all the trainers going to Rock Tunnel, I think he would only hit... I think he would only get to 35, unfortunately. Which isn't a bad thing, because in Rock Tunnel would be a decent place for Gyarados to take point. Especially for a few trainers in there, and the Geodudes. Whoa there, whoa there. I have Pokemon, they are mine. You have Pokemon, they are yours. But I am not yours. Let's not get carried away. And after the long time away, Ember can finally take out some grass types in one kick. Well, that one trainer alone gave Charmeleon almost half of its level. Lash would not be good against Onix because it has very high defense. And there's no reason to deprive Gyarados of some easy experience. I don't think this is a useful one. Nope, not at all. Teleport is not at all useful. It doesn't even... no, never mind. Teleport does get you out of wild encounters. But you would have... the actual teleport is a guaranteed runaway, whereas depending on who you have out in front, you might not be able to get away. I think this is the last guy on the left side of the route. I don't think there's another one to the left, but I will still check. He only has 2 Pokemon, but if you could refight this guy, it would be worth it. I don't get why he has 2 Beedrills instead of at least having a Butterfree. Yeah, there isn't anybody else over there. And there he is, but I don't think there's anything actually over here. So I don't know why they have him facing this way. Ah, damn. Don't have a good move for Geodude. Ouch. Rock throw. Sucks to be hit by. But safer to get hit by that rather than self-destruct, because I think level 21 and up Geodudes can have self-destruct. I believe this guy has 4 bugs. Oh, only 3. I'm not sure who I thought the 4th was. Venonat can't even encounter yet. Charmeleon should be close. Decently close after that. Ah, I was not sure where he was. Oh, this is the guy with 4 that I had confused with Bugboy. Oh no you don't. I've had enough trouble from you poison types today. Oop. Nope, I was wrong. I was about to say I think there's only one more, but there's this guy, the girl at the bottom right, and then one more trainer. And then finally, Rock Tunnel. With the crit, still did about as much as Ember. Finally. Ah. I was thinking of Karate Chop. And I glossed over the fact that it is normal in Gen 1. It doesn't become fighting until Gen 2. Our Zippo is finally hitting its peak. Very nice. Special now being up to 77. I think it gained around 14 points in special? Unfortunately, it's only fire attack is Ember, and it won't get Flamethrower for a little bit. I'm not sure which level it learns it, but Flamethrower will be a very needed upgrade as a fire stab attack. And unfortunately, because this is Gen 1 red-blue, not yellow, Charizard can't even get Fly in red and blue. That would have been a nice stab move for him. Last fight, heal, and then push through Rock Tunnel. Pikachu is gonna hurt. Never mind! It was a battle of the quick attacks. Granted, Thundershock really wasn't going to be a danger of a knockout, but Paralyzed can always make a fight worse. Of course, it gets the sleep. Only one turn of sleep? That is very lucky. Crit pound, that's fine. You're done. And then Gyarados, it needs about 300 more than Pidgeotto does. Take a quick look, see what's available here. Don't think Spearow's going to give very much. There is water here, but at this point, I only have the old rod. And with the old rod, no matter where you use it, the only thing you're going to get is level 5 Magikarps. It is not viable for grinding. Okay. These levels are terrible. And so is the experience. Voltorb could be decent experience. I 100% expected it to go Sonic Boom. Which still would have been fine because it wouldn't be a knockout. Voltorb gets horribly shafted in Gen 1 because neither it or Electrode learn any electric moves. you have to teach it either Thunderbolt or Thunder. Personally, I would always say go Thunderbolt because a 30% chance to miss is just not worth the gamble. And it can get a lot of mileage out of Thunderbolt. First, I want to deposit Thunderbolt so that nothing accidentally happens to it. And Teleport will just have to wait until Lavender. One moment. And now for Rock Tunnel. And the reason why Flash is not even necessary is because you can already see where all the walls are. Later gens really crank up the darkness so that unless you have a map or remember where to go, you're really fumbling around. But this is the only place in Gen 1 that you would use Flash. And you just don't need to. As soon as I saw Disable, I didn't even think of using Dragon Rage. Oh, I'm one too far. I only bought 6 repels because I didn't want to put too much money into them and then just have a bunch of extras. So how well does Dragon Rage? Dragon Rage also does half. And Confusion did less than Headbutt. It is still scary to get hit with Confusion because of the chance of becoming confused. And I was not sure exactly where I was. Oh, I really wish Pidgeotto had Wing Attack, because even though it is unreasonably weak, it would still be a flying attack to use against these grass types. I don't know if it was intentional or an oversight, but Gust, Peck, and Wing Attack all have the same power of 35. Later on they correct it and Wing Attack gets stronger. Gen 1 Sleep is the second worst status affliction you can have. Worst one being Frozen, because nothing will thaw you out. Not even being hit by a fire move, I don't think. I would rather get hit by Poison Powder than Stun Spore, because at least I have antidotes. I believe there is a trainer over here. There they are. And then continuing north a little bit more is a little set of rocks you can walk all the way around. And there are 2 hikers there. I'm not sure if you can skip both of them, but you can skip at least one of them. But I am not going to do that, because can't be hit by Bone Club because it's ground. I'm not skipping them because this is not trying to go fast or anything. This is just playing it through. And every fight is experience now rather than later. And the experience right now would be more helpful. It is worth switching before I get here. Wow. Did not know which tile he was on. It's a little funny that the repel wore off on that tile. Oh yeah, these Geodudes, you do not want to give them any turns to make a move, because that move could be their last, which could spell your last. Self-destruct and explosion are extra dangerous. Because the target getting hit with it has their defenses cut in half. Even if you have... unless you have good or better defense, that is not a chance you want to be taking. Did I use a repel? I didn't. Oh, one too low. This room, I believe, has 3 hikers. This one below, not directly, but like 1 or 2 tiles to the left, and then 1 more on the right side near the ladder. Oh, the crit was good, but just short. The second guy is on this side. Onyx is going to be really good experience at this point. Gyarados is just being handed his levels today. As soon as you come across any Pokemon that could potentially have self-destruct or explosion, don't give them an inch. Take them out as fast as you can. If left to their own devices, they will take a mile. And they will take you with every inch of that mile. And this is the last hiker in this room. Bubble Beam, these rock types would be a lot more annoying to go through. You can go up to the right and down to the left in that like vertical hallway I just went through, but there is nothing in this room you can get. It's big, but it isn't filled with anything. One sand attack wasn't enough, thankfully. I was really hoping that Pidgeotto was going to get to wing attack at that level. There is a hiker. Yes. And then past him and straight up is one more trainer in this room. And this is the last Grappler of the tunnel. I want to say this Pokemaniac has 2 Slowpokes. I want to... Oh, I thought he was standing directly next to the ladder. There was a space between it. It has 3. Okay, 20 is a little lower than I thought it was. Oh. Still 3 moves to take them out, though. Thankfully, they're not hitting that hard. Because this is experience Pidgeotto could really use. I was just thinking, even if it disables one of my attacks, at least I have the other one. And we're close to the end. I don't want Pidgeotto that close to going down. I want it to be able to fight these trainers. I might be wrong. I think this side of the room has 3 or 4 trainers lined up, one on alternating sides of the wall. Okay, 2 minutes on that. Oh, Clefairy. I thought her next one would be Oddish. Oh, so close. Of course, the first one misses, but the second one hits. Thankfully, the immediate wake up. First, unlucky with Sing hitting, and then the best luck of immediately waking up, and the smallest amount of double slaps hitting. I think I was wrong about the 4, and I think there's only 1 on each side. Either way, this is more experience for Pidgeotto. I think now Pidgeotto has the bulk that it can brute force through the 1 sand attack. Finally, getting the level up. There's wing attack. Okay, I was 1 level off. Won't be needing sand attack at any point. It finally has a stab flying move. Granted, it is unfortunately very weak, but at least now it has a flying stab and not just a normal stab move. which it immediately comes in handy against Bellsprout. Okay, yeah. I thought it was longer to have two on each side. Only has one on each side. That's perfectly fine. There's one more trainer over here. And I apparently only needed 2 repels. 3 would be for safety, but that's fine. Not that much lost in money, and I don't normally spend too much, so we'll have it to spare. Even making a tiny back off of this Meowth. I could always go back to wherever you can find Meowth and try to get one for payday, but I don't think it's all that necessary. And that's why I switched to Quick Attack, because Pidgey... I figured Pidgey might be going for that. And there are 3 trainers out here. Pidgeotto can take this one. There's one down to the left that will be for Gyarados. Of course. You hit by 1 sand attack, and your accuracy may as well be 0. Nice to see it did more than half, and it wasn't even a crit. Just needs 1 to hit. Not gonna risk it missing again, because I really want Pidgeotto to get this knocked out. That makes no sense. That's missing that much. Pidgeotto deserved that 500 after all that. Yep, 450. Oh! I did not remember this hiker up here. I only remember the one below him. After a shorter grind session at the start than I expected, have finally progressed past Misty, Third, and the SSN, and we put Rock Tunnel behind us as well. I had a feeling that it did not actually switch. And this will be the last trainer. Oh, that's unfortunate, because Cubone's best stat is its defense. The growl does not help. That crit came in very handy, though. Okay, the last one being Slowpoke should not matter. Oh, but those two growls really make a difference. A crit would be... Okay, I somehow manifested that wish. Oh, that sped that up considerably. Awesome! Pidgeotto gets one more level as well. Pidgeotto is 4 levels away. Gyarados is still just good as he is. Zippo has not really done any fighting since he evolved because I wanted to get the other two caught up. We have finally made it to Lavender Town, which means we can talk to the Name Raider and nickname the other members of the team. At the moment, I don't have anything in mind. Zippo's name stays, but Pidgeotto and Gyarados are on the table. Do not need the repels anymore. At least not for a while. Teleport is not worth anything. Don't think I need escape ropes for any reason. In Gen 1, you are limited to 1 bag, and you only have 20 slots. Still individual. How many antidotes do I have? I have 2. They are cheap. I will grab 3 more. One hyper potion in the back pocket, if it ever came down to that. Now, even though I cannot go all the way down this route, I can still fight a few trainers before I'm stopped. Just talk to her, and she gives you Swift. I think in Gen 1, Swift is the only move that can't miss. After, because of the well, not extra long, but long-ish grind session at the start, even though it was shorter than I expected, I think can still push a little bit, at least the trainers down here first. That was not a favorable move, and that is why. Ow! Doing a quarter to myself. Not risking another turn of confusion, because Pidgeotto would have taken itself out. Cannot grab that until I have Surf. Of course it would get a crit at the worst time. One more. There's that guy on the right, and I think one more trainer available. I could be wrong, and there could be more. Not many more, but a couple before we're cut off. Pidgeotto did not deserve that crit. And he's gonna get back down there for his revenge. Oh, it is so good that that missed this time. There he is. Actually, there's him, at least one more. I'm not sure if there's one more after that. But it being that many, it would be beneficial to take a detour first. I don't think I can avoid both of these people. If I try to go behind him, she will see me. So I'll just take this guy out first. Can't do anything to me with that until Gen 2. I don't know why you keep trying. Taking a detour because it is going to benefit Pidgeotto to do this first. Just need to be careful. With where you walk. I believe there's an item in here. I might be going too fast? Yep. I knew there was something in here, and I was just going too fast to get it. This little detour is going to pay out in spades for Pidgeotto the most. Pidgeotto finally getting a decent powered flying move. It is twice the power of its poor, pitiful wing attack, something it desperately needs, and makes the return to Lavender much faster. Unfortunately, I don't think Pidgeot learns anything equivalent or better than Fly. I forgot I hadn't talked to him. against Shelder, it is worth switching because Shelder's best stat is its defense, and all of Pidgeotto's moves are physical. Against Goldeen, can switch back just fine. The biggest drawback of Fly isn't that it's a 2-turn move, whereas everything else has been 1 turn. It unfortunately has 95 accuracy. Ah, it was the last one? That's fine. So, 1 in 20 times, or if you're unlucky, more often, Fly will miss. Not what I meant. Gyarados could use possibly 1... Actually, I believe Gary has Growler. Pidgeotto is very much in need of evolving and getting its stat boosts. Trying to make my Pokemon faint doesn't sound like something you would do to your pal. At least, my Pidgeotto is still better than yours. Oh, should not have followed up with Quick Attack. Yep, unfortunately, Fly is not strong enough. There it is. However, it is 70 power, so with Stab, that it does boost it up to 105 power. The only thing holding it back is Pidgeotto not having great attack. I'm actually a little surprised that a non-crit Fly took out Execute. Yes, it is weak to it, and there's an 11 level difference, but Execute's best stat is its defense. That's about as... I actually thought Fly was going to do a little bit less, but thankfully that is awesome. Pidgeotto desperately needs its levels. It really needs that attack boost. It's not going to be a big increase, but the overall stat increases are going to be worth it. The only normal type on the team is going to be Pidgeotto. Let's see, can it even have this? It can learn Swift, so I'm just going to go ahead and give Pidgeotto Swift, because it's the only one that's going to get the best use out of it with the normal stab. Nobody else will be learning Fly. I don't need an elixir. I might be wrong, but I think in Gen 1, Swift is 60 base power. So while Fly with Stab is 15 power higher, if there's something weak enough or just to finish off a little bit of health, Swift will be a solid follow-up at 90 power. Okay, I was really hoping that second Clefairy wouldn't survive when the first one didn't. I had actually intended to just to call it right after getting to Lavender. But I just figured that being this close, having taken out everybody that I can below Lavender, and even taking out Gary, why not give a little more push and clear out the route toward Saffron? So when I get into Celadon, that'll be the next section to do a little going around. Not too much, but it has the Rocket Dungeon. So that'll take a little bit of time, and I think that's where next time we'll pick up there next time with Pidgeotto getting all of the experience here. There's these 3 trainers, and then there's 2 to the left as well. That should be enough for Pidgeotto to evolve. I'm hoping. If not, then it'll be close enough that a few wild fights will give it that last little push it needs. Oh, it will definitely be fine within these trainers, because Charizard already got his level up, And Gyarados is leading in the power category. So giving Pidgeotto a little extra time to finally evolve it's definitely worth it. Only one from him, but that's fine. Don't need to deal with poison. Just to save that little bit of time of walking around just to talk to her. I actually wasn't sure if Swift would be enough. I think this girl just has 3 out. Yep. And at that level, I think they would all have payday. So if you wanted to, your best option would be like facing her with Geodudes or Onyx and just buffing your defense and just letting her wail on you. But if you need money, it would be so much easier to just catch a Meow. The only route I know for sure you can get it is directly below Cerulean, where the daycare center is. I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure if you can get them on this route, and you can always check the Pokédex to see where you can find them. Not super important if you're not blowing all your money on pointless things that you don't need, then you'll be fine. And there are 2 more trainers to the left. There's nothing to get in there, there's no hidden items or anything. If this guy doesn't give enough, even though I think it might because he has a Poliwhirl, I believe. Doesn't even matter. That means Gyarados can finish up this guy and the other guy. Yeah, I didn't expect Bite to be a one-shot, but it did the majority. And it's not stab, so that's still pretty good. He has finally hit his peak. I did not mean to do that. I even pushed B to say, no, don't do that. And it didn't listen. It gained 14 attack in that evolution. Something it was definitely needing. Granted, it only went from 61 to 75, but every little bit helps. Ah, this guy had more than I thought he did. Coughing has better physical defense than special, and I didn't mean to go tackle, I meant to go to bite. Tackle is almost good enough. And Voltorb has better special than defense, I think. Magnemite, however, its defense and its special are pretty close to even, I think. Only downside for Magnemite is it doesn't have very good speed for an electric type. Ah. Question is, what levels are here, and how much do they give? Okay. But only 150 from Pidgey? For level 19, you would expect more. Okay, 22 oddish should be decent. Oh, that is the worst kind of circumstance. Almost and then paralyzed. Okay, so that is almost 400 out of 1,000. Being paralyzed really sucks, but at least through these last few fights, he can't be put to sleep. I think one more fight for Gyarados. Wow. He got really lucky on his paralysis luck. Did not get fully paralyzed. I don't think I will be needing Cut anytime soon. If at all again, actually. And that is where we will leave part 2. Finally made it through the Diglett Cave grind, the SSN, Rock Tunnel, and even picked up all the odd and end trainers around Lavender and made it to Cerulean, or not Cerulean, Celadon. So the next thing will be the Rocket Hideout, and I just remembered that I will actually be needing Cut one more time so that I can actually fight Erica. So next time will be the Rocket Hideout and taking out Erica, and I think at least the Lavender Tower, because neither of those things should take all that long. Thanks for watching, and we will continue this soon.